All right, so we're going to start off with a blanket roll on the front of the belly and belly down. So the gentler way, and it's going to depend on how thick your blanket is and how tight the muscles along the front of the body are, and also if you've recently eaten. If you've recently eaten, this might speed up your digestion pretty quickly. So what I have here is a very soggy blanket. I'm just going to roll this up. This is the first option, just like this. If you want more, if with your blanket or your towel, you roll it up and you're going to place it just underneath the belly button, and we're working towards releasing the deep core muscles in order to release the lower back from the front. If you want more, you could make a little sort of knot at the bottom, and you come belly down. Again, this is not the ideal blanket for it. And at first it might be a little like, and you can bend your elbows and let your forehead rest on your hands. And then the forehead can gently just roll out on the back of the hands. I'm going to come up to the screen. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat tab, or you can, obviously just ask. So we've talked before about how there's a physical and an energetic connection between the neck and the lower back. So as we go through our practice, I'm also going to do frequent reminders about softening the neck in order to soften the lower back. Now, as you breathe, you've got that bolster. Barbara, do you have any questions, or?
Did you mean using these balls?
Oh, no, the purple one. If you have the purple inflatable one, like the Pilates ball.
Right. Well, I'll just use a blanket then.
Yeah.
Charlie, you used your blanket the long way.
Yes.
Can you do it the other way?
You could. It's a matter of just getting it the thickness. If you do it, if it's spreading out beyond your hips, it's not really doing anything. So okay. It's a matter of getting enough feedback so that when you breathe in, you feel your belly expand, and you're going to feel probably the sensation of the blanket underneath the belly a little bit more. And then as you breathe out, this is where you want to breathe out through the nose and intentionally relax those muscles so that the blanket goes in even deeper into those very deep muscles. Doug, can you drop down more, or do you need to stay up on your forearms? All the way down, and rest your head on your hands. Yeah, is that okay?
Is the blanket supposed to be up as far as my chin?
Well, if you have it, the rolled up the long way, and you have the knot, do you have the knot at the bottom of it?
No, not. It's just a roll.
Yeah, just a roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends on how long your blanket is. It looks like you did it the long way. So you could either roll the bottom up more, so you have a bigger surface that's going in, or you could unfold it and do it shorter. But I think if it comes up to your chin, that might be uncomfortable. And so as you're settling in and you're breathing, you may notice that the sensations change. So this can kind of take your breath away when you initially enter the pose. But hopefully with your breath, you're signaling to the body to relax and let go. And you invite that deeper that deeper release of those deeper muscles. Intentionally relax the neck and just watch the breath. And now if you like, you could bend your knees and now let the legs just kind of windshield wiper side to side. So this will be a passive stretch for the front of the thighs. And then it's also sort of shifting where the weight is on that ball or on the blanket roll. And then your head can go in the opposite direction of your knees. And this can be soothing to the spine because it's a gentle spinal twist, belly down spinal twist. Just going to take a couple more rounds here. And then release the legs down. Enjoy just 2 more breaths before we transition out of this. And when you're ready, just roll to your side, slide the blanket out of the way, and then come onto your back. And just notice how the back feels, notice how the belly feels. And intentionally invite that breath to create space in the belly, in the front of the hips. And when you're ready, you can draw that right leg in, clasp behind the thigh, and begin straightening and bending. Nice little hamstring. Good morning stretch. And as you do this, just check in with the neck, making sure that it's relaxed and the chin isn't poking up towards the ceiling. Pause next time the leg is straight and gently press the back of the leg into the hands. And press the hands into the back of the leg. And breathe and try to find softness here. And now cross that right ankle over the left. And just gently let the hips rock from side to side. So we're using this to massage out the back of the glutes. We'll be introducing the balls a little bit later, but let's just warm them up without any balls, just the sensation of the floor. And now take your right hand, place it on the right thigh. And once again, press the hand into the thigh and the thigh into the hand. And then try to relax the shoulders and just watch the breath. Now, if your mind starts to wander, and especially if it's maybe wandering to an event that you're anticipating and not necessarily excited about, you could use that visualization where you invite the light and then you just explode that image from your psychic space, clearing it for positive thoughts, positive energy to flow. And then let's release that right leg down, and you can clasp behind the left and begin with your straightening and bending. Get a little music going here. And just let your foot stay up if the volume is okay. If you need it lower, bend your knee. Okay, perfect. So just continue with your flow. And next time the leg is straight, pause here. Press the back of the leg into the hands. And press the hands into the back of the leg. And just scan your body as you do this hold. And notice if there's anywhere that you could soften a little bit. And then you'll bend that knee, cross it over the right knee. And once again, you can invite that gentle sway. The arms can come out to the side, so you invite a little bit of a stretch across the front of the shoulders, and your head can flow in the opposite direction. And you pause. Draw that right leg in, left leg in, sorry. And then place it down onto the floor. Let's go back to the right side. Hug the right leg in, and this time extend the left leg. Relax the lower back. Relax the neck. Float the left leg up just about 2 to 3 inches. Press through the heel. And see if you can feel the glutes and the hamstring engage. So having the leg low enough that you feel that engagement. And Uddiyana Bandha. Hip points narrow, lower belly zips back and up. And then press that right leg away so that it lifts the head, shoulders, upper back. Hug the right leg in and take the hands behind the head. Relax the neck. Just see if you can notice a difference in the lower back when the neck is relaxed. A gentle twist to the right, and then pulse in, right knee and chest towards each other. You keep that left leg steady, pressing through the heel to keep the leg muscles engaged. Relax the neck. There is a tendency for it to keep sort of coming out of that relaxed state. And then you release back to the center, all the way down. Hug the right leg in. Gentle rocking of that right knee. And then let's just take it across the body, just for a quick little stretch. Have your left hand on that left thigh, left hand on the right thigh. Just gently press it away, creating space in that right hip joint. Space along the right obliques and the intercostal muscles, and then inhale back to center. We'll hold that longer a little bit later when we're warmer. And then let's switch sides. So you clasp behind the left leg. Engage your Uddiyana Bandha so that right foot, the toes are facing straight up towards the ceiling. The hip points are narrowing and that zipper is zipping up. Float the right leg off the floor. And just notice what happens to the lower back here. You want to try to invite ease. And then press the left leg away so that the head, shoulders, neck come off. Hug the left leg in towards you, and then the hands come behind the head. You twist and then you gently pulse. Keep the elbows wide. Keep the face soft. And again, it's very challenging to relax the head into the hands. So we want to try to relax the neck so that the lower back stays at ease and the front core muscles are doing the work. And then come back to the center, release down, hug that left leg in, just a gentle rocking side to side. And let that left leg come across the body. The right hand is on the right thigh. And just gently press it away. Invite space in that hip joint, space in the side body. And you inhale back to center. And draw the right knee in towards you and make some circles with the knees away from each other. Yeah, just inviting those hips to release any cobwebs. And just watch the lower back as it goes in and out of the pelvic tilt. Invite fluidity there. Reverse direction. And you pause with the knees together. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling and circle wrists and ankles. Nice way to just get that circulation going. Getting the feet and hands ready for some weight bearing. Reverse the direction. And pause. Bend the knees so shins are 90 degrees. Hip points narrow, lower belly zips up. So there is going to be a tendency for that lower back to overarch. So keep the lower back relaxed. Arms extend up towards the ceiling. Start with the left leg, lowering it towards the floor and then lifting it. The right leg lowers and lifts. And then you add the opposite arm. So this really challenges keeping Uddiyana Bandha engaged. Think about the lower ribs gently drawing towards each other. When the arm extends back, it has a tendency to invite a splaying of the ribs. Just a couple more breaths here. And then you'll pause, hug the knees in. Let's make some circles with the knees together. Now focusing more on the lower back as opposed to the hips. And let's reverse direction. And once again, the shins come 90 degrees. The arms are out to the sides, palms face down, lower back's relaxed. Your knees, you want to have, you could put a block if it's handy in between the knees. Otherwise, just keep a block space between the knees as you lower the knees towards the left. Now use the bottom leg to press up. There we're using the left side of the body. Let the knees drop to the right. And again, the bottom leg presses up. We're keeping the knees, again, a block's distance apart. Let the legs come all the way down if possible. Because if you let the legs relax, then it's going to be a bit more of a challenge to activate those muscles along the side body. We'll just do one more round each side. And pause when the knees are in the center. And we'll rock on up into table pose. You're welcome to unroll your blanket, pad your knees. Fingers are spread wide. I just want to offer as an alternative, you could always do this standing from a chair also. Yesterday, I had a couple of requests for that, just taking the weight off the hands. So let's start by extending the left leg long and just gently pressing through the heel. And now that left leg is going to lift. So we've done this before. This is a really small action. This is to release the hip. The leg just rotates out and back. So you'll notice this more with the foot, but the action's coming from the hip. And so we don't go in, we just go out and then neutral. Out and then neutral. And you're doing this from table. Now the hips are level. Uddiyana Bandha is activated. And now you pause. Toes are facing straight down. Neck is relaxed. Lower back is relaxed. Core is engaged. Opposite arm extends. The palms facing the midline. Slide away from the midline and back to center. Away and back. Yeah, just one more. Pause here. Take that right hand on the right hip. Bend the left knee, flex the foot, gently press up. As you're pressing up, this is the challenge. Don't arch the lower back. So keep the core engaged. So keep drawing the ribs towards the hips. So you're keeping your core engaged. If you find your leg going too high, that means you're losing your core. Pause. Extend the leg long. Continue pulsing up without arching the lower back. Look to the right. Back to center. Look to the left. And back to center. Lower the right hand down. So I'm going to offer a couple of options. If your knees are kind of cranky, you'll take this stretch where you lower the left leg to the right. We've done that before. If the knees are okay, you tuck that left knee behind the right, so it's like eagle legs, and then you sit back. So this is a deep hip stretch, but not everybody's knees like it. So wherever you are, you're breathing, making sure all your body parts are happy. Nice. And then exhale, make your way back to your table. The right leg extends. We press out through the heel. As you're pressing out through the heel, not only are we stretching the calf and the hamstring, but creating space in that hip socket. So we talked about the locked long and locked short muscles. So here we want to just invite space in that hip joint. Now you float that leg up. Uddiyana Bandha. Rotate the leg in the hip socket. So a challenge here is keeping the movement small. But we want the movement small because we want to encourage the muscles to release. If the movement gets too big, then the muscles don't release. They feel like they have to keep working. Neck is relaxed. Pause. Extend the opposite arm. Stretch away from the midline and back to center. Now feel the core hugging in as the arm and leg comes to the center. We call this Samanavayu, the hugging in energy. And then you pause. Take that left hand on the left hip, bend the right leg. Keep the lower back in its natural curve as you begin to pulse up. So feel ribs and lower belly drawing towards each other. Extend the right leg long, keep pulsing. Look to the left. Back to center. Look to the right. Back to center. Lower the left hand down and take that right leg over to the left or tuck it behind the front knee and you stretch back. And make your way back up, back to table. Tuck the toes under. Press the hips back like you're going into a child's pose, and then lift the knees, hover. Press the hips back even more. Uddiyana Bandha. Hip points narrow, lower belly zip. Straighten the legs, check out the heels, making sure they are wider than the toes. Pedal out the legs. Walk the hands back to the feet. You're in a forward fold. Uddiyana Bandha. Imagine you're stretching the heels apart. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, you rise up. Take a gentle back bend once you arrive. And invite space in the front of the hips. Invite space in the front of the belly. And then inhale, reach up, stretch, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Uddiyana Bandha. Imagine stretching the heels apart. Option to extend the arms forward. So feel that this is Dhyana Vayu, when you stretch away from the midline. Fingertips and your sit bones are reaching in opposite direction. Bend the knees, sink into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Imagine a block between your thighs. You're spinning your thighs in. Heels stretch apart. And then inhale, you rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, press into the legs, nice long spine. And then inhale your chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Float the left wrist to the ceiling, grab it with the right hand and stretch to the right. Kneel back through center, switch sides. Kneel back to center. Release the arms down. Roll out the shoulders. We'll make our way to the front of the mat. By shifting the weight to the left foot, right leg lifts, level off the hips. Step the right leg forward. Left leg lifts, level off the hips. Use the core. So this is similar to when we were lying down. This leg, activating the core, pressing through the right heel, activating the glute. Left leg steps forward, right leg lifts. Right leg steps forward, left leg lifts. Lower the left leg. Take a flowing sequence here. On your inhale, reach up, stretch, gentle back bend. On your exhale, you fold. Inhale, press into the legs, nice long spine. Shoulders roll down the spine. On your exhale, step back to table or plank pose. Now, plank pose, you could have the knees on the ground or you could have them lifted. For chaturanga, have your fingers spread wide and then shift your weight forward so that the shoulders are above the fingertips, not just the wrist. This will be easier on the shoulders. So slide forward. As you slide forward, press through the heels. Uddiyana Bandha. Bend the elbows any amount and then come into up dog or sphinx pose. Using your core, press into the tops of the feet. This takes a little while for the tops of the feet to kind of accept this. Press into the tops of the feet and see how long you can keep pressing before you flip the feet over into downward dog. can come way up on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look to the front of your space, and walk or hop forward. Inhale, you rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, press into the legs, nice long spine. On your exhale, left leg steps back for warrior one. Let's just get the legs aligned, knee facing towards the short end of the mat, and direct both hip points towards the short end of the mat. Arms can rise. Now notice how the back feels. Sometimes bending that back knee a little bit might allow you to lengthen, so you don't want to feel an over and arching here. Hip points narrow, lower belly zips up, even here. Arms reach up. Uddiyana Bandha. Flow with your breath, straightening and bending. Again, be mindful of that lower back. The more you keep Uddiyana Bandha activated, the less of a chance you're going to have of overarching, overstretching it. Next time you're in your warrior one, pause here. Feel the grounding through the legs. Feel Uddiyana Bandha. Relax the shoulders down the back of the body. Fingertips reaching up. On your exhale, hands come to the block and the back leg lifts. Pause here. Drop the left hip. So just as we did in table, rotate the leg. You can see the foot better here. Rotate it out and in. And just visualize any tension in the hips melting away. Pause with the toe facing straight down. Take that left leg to the right of the right foot. So the legs are crossed. And then walk the blocks over towards your left and into a forward fold. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw. And invite space. And come back to the center, uncross the legs. Inhale, you rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press into the legs, nice long spine. On your exhale, the right leg steps back for warrior one. Uddiyana Bandha. Arms rise. And you flow. Stay connected through the feet. Feel the lower body grounded, stable, so that the upper body can be fluid. Next time the knees bent, arms are up, pause here in your warrior two. And just take a moment to be here. Feeling the grounding of the lower body. Feeling lightness in the upper body. And on your exhale, hands come to the blocks. The back leg lifts. Level off the hip. And you do that little gentle release. Now make sure that standing leg has a slight bend in it, so you're not hyperextending the knee. Pause. Take that right leg to the left of the left. Walk the blocks and the body over to the right. And just notice where the weight is. Sometimes it falls into the heels. Notice if you shift the weight a little bit more to the balls of the feet, how that might change the stretch. Uddiyana Bandha, even here. Come back to center, uncross the legs. And then the inhale brings you up. On your exhale, fold halfway. Inhale, press into the legs, nice long spine. On your exhale, left leg steps back. Warrior two, we'll start with the hands on the hips. Right knee towards the short end. Hips towards the long end. Hips, ribs, shoulders. Inhale the arms up. Flip the palms up. Straighten and reach. And bend and lower. Uddiyana Bandha, even here. So those two sort of energetic, they call them vayus. We have Samana Vayu where we're hugging in. Vijnana Vayu, you're radiating out from the center. Next time you're in your warrior two, pause here. Flip the front palm, reach up and back. Lower body stays just as it is. All right, inhale through warrior two. Keep going, hands come to the floor and you step back into a plank or table pose. Press back, downward dog. Float the right leg up, bend the knee, open up that hip, maybe circle out the ankle. Level off the hip. Now we're going to end up in a pigeon pose, but I'm going to just offer some core before. If you want to go right to pigeon, have a little bit more time, you can skip the core. You want to do core? Right leg comes in. You're in a hanging plank and we pulse up. Again, this is what we did starting. So press through that left heel. So you're activating the glute and the hamstring. And then this pulsing is with the core. And then you extend it back. And now that right leg comes across the body towards the left elbow. And again, little pulses. You might feel this more in the obliques. And extend it back. Right knee, right elbow. And now take that knee to the left, to the right. Just let it kind of swing like a pendulum. Next time it's over to the right, release into your half pigeon. All right, so since we were talking about the piriformis and the piriformis sometimes getting overstretched, I'm gonna just offer the suggestion for putting a block or a blanket under the right hip. So even if the hip can touch the ground, just try it and see. Because maybe the hip touches the ground and sometimes we have a tendency to gravitate towards more stretch. And we've talked many times about how more is not always better. So I invite you to really allow the sensations to dictate whether having something underneath that hip might make that piriformis happier. And it could be even the slightest little roll. And you're welcome to stay upright or drop on down. Right, enjoy another breath, and if you've dropped on down, slowly make your way up. And then we'll curl the left toes under and step back to your downward dog. Take intuitive stretching. Maybe you lift that right leg up again and stretch open the hip. When you're ready, the left leg lifts. You open up the hips, circle out the ankle. Level off the hip. Uddiyana Bandha. Now again, you can go straight into your pigeon if you'd like more time there. Or you come into that hanging plank. So we're low, so that as you press through that right heel, you feel the glute and the hamstring. And then you pulse that left knee. The more you root down into the hands, you're also activating the core. And then you extend back. Left knee, left elbow. Gentle pulsing. And keep access with that right glute by pressing through the heel. Extend back. Left knee, right elbow. And then let that knee swing from side to side. Next time that knee is over towards the left, release into your pigeon if you're not here already. You can always do this on your back. Maybe trying out a little blanket roll or pillow underneath that left glute. And you know, our body is different from one day to the next, so sometimes it may be beneficial to have the prop and other times not. So this is why it's good to stay consistently just checking in with the body. We have a lot of habits that allow us to be very efficient. But sometimes it's good to just challenge those habits by just checking in, trying something new, seeing if that might feel better in your body. You've dropped on down, make your way up. Curl the right toes under and press up into your down dog. And invite any counter stretches that might feel good. And you lower that left leg. Take a look to the front of your mat and walk or hop towards the front. And then inhale, you rise, gentle back bend. On your exhale, you fold. Next inhale, nice long spine. On your exhale, right leg steps back for warrior two. That left knee is facing towards the short edge of the mat. Hips, ribs, chest towards the long end. And then inhale, you reach up and out. Vyana Vayu. Lift the palms up, and when you're ready, you flow in and out. Hugging to the midline, feel the core zip up. Radiating out and hugging in. And just one more round. Pause in your warrior two. Flip the left palm, reach up and back. Inhale back through warrior two. Windmill the hands to the front, step the back leg up to meet the front. And then inhale, you rise. Pause here for a moment, rooting into the heels. Visualize that tailbone lengthening. So the lower back is soft, and invite that arch into the mid and upper back. And then exhale, release the arms down. And let's come to the floor. Have a block handy. Have the balls within reach. And have a tie handy. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get there or not, but have it handy. And let's start by taking you'll have the ball handy. Take that right foot, the right ankle over the left, and slide that therapy ball right underneath the meat of the right glute.
Between under the knee.
Is it under the knee?
Oh, no, under the glute.
Under the glute, yeah, under the glute. So it's under the right glute. And then here you can enjoy a gentle rocking side to side. And if it sounds like a good idea, you could slide the other one underneath the left. Again, you could start first with stillness and breathing and inviting the muscles to relax and invite the balls in. And just whenever you feel ready, you can invite some gentle rocking. Maybe reposition those therapy balls. And when you're ready, release the right leg down. And you can switch sides. The left ankle comes over the right. You may find it helpful to just enjoy stillness and breath. And then maybe invite some gentle rocking when you're ready. And just a gentle reminder to check in with the breath. And then you pause, release the left foot to the floor. Extend the right leg long. And just notice if the therapy ball still feels good where it's at. You might find benefit in sliding it down a little lower into the glutes. And maybe you extend the left leg as well. And again, these are just add-ons, but you may want to try sort of jiggling the legs. So similar to what we did from table and from standing, we were inviting the leg bone to just sort of jiggle in the hip socket. Of course, all of this is just part of the buffet of this practice. You can choose what you like and bypass what you don't. And find stillness. And you'll rebend the knees, slide the balls out from under you, hug the right leg in, Extend the left leg long. Have the block to the left side and let that right knee come across the body and land on the block. And the right arm can extend out, or you could let it rest on your hip. Left hand can rest on that right thigh. And just notice if a fluid rolling of the head or a static position feels better in your body. Another breath here. And then inhale back to center. Hug the knee in. Take a few breaths, allowing the rib cage to rise up towards the thigh and allowing the lower back to soften. And extend the right leg, extend the arms, take a full body stretch. Left knee comes in. And gently rocking, massaging out the glutes. Block to the right side. Let that left knee come across the body, landing on that block. Right hand can gently encourage space in the left hip. Enjoy either a static hold or maybe something with a little bit more rhythm. A little pulsation. And make your way back to center. Hug the knee in and enjoy a few breaths where you watch the rib cage rise and encourage the lower back to soften. And when you're ready, release into your Shavasana. And if any thoughts or images you find distracting, you can explode them out of your psychic space. And reminding yourself that here in this moment, there's nothing else to do. There's no one else you need to serve. Just allow these couple of minutes for your body and mind to integrate the postures, the movements, the energetic shifts, and rest in stillness. Allow your next breath to be a little longer and a little deeper. And invite gentle movements, maybe starting with the fingers and toes. And when you're ready, allowing the head flow from side to side. In your own time, make your way to your side. Every moment of gratitude, thanking yourself for taking this time to honor others. When you're ready, you can make your way up to seated. And if you'd like to join me in a chant of Om, take a deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.